It's the 30th, which means I'm experiencing a very unique thing called rent rage. You might be asking, what is rent rage, Alexa? Rent rage is when I look at the fact that, oh my goodness, I'm living paycheck to paycheck and miserable. This is how much I pay for a studio apartment. You see that number? Let's break it down. Alrighty, my rent, base rent, $19.60. Righty, studio apartment, not one of them cute little studios where you got like, oh my goodness, half of the little divisor. No, traditional studio. Amenities fee, $35. The amenities include co-working spaces, their gym. It also includes like 10 cups of unlimited coffee a month. Parking, $90 for outdoors. Alrighty, if I decide to do indoor covered parking, it was going to be $300 a month. $300 a month. I've had beef with them about this parking because they told me there was overflow parking. Then out of nowhere, the overflow parking closed and they forgot to send the email to my building saying the overflow parking closed. So I was like, hey, can I at least get a discount on the inside parking? The property manager called me a brokey. So, and I literally have to leave work early just to get a parking spot because they're like, yeah, we won't honor it, but if you want to, you can park at the train station and like administration fee. $6. They don't be doing a single freaking thing, alrighty? But I digress. They finally started hosting one thing a month in like October. I've been here since April. Oh, and then they also charge me an additional thing for water. Why? I don't know to this day. So I get charged water for my utilities and also water for my building. So this month, it was $18.88 and also an additional $2.31. They even just try to kindly ask about things. They call me broke. Like, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, I am broke. That is the reason why I'm asking.
Wow. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Robert here. Man, I've warned a lot of you guys that rent is going to continue to go up. And for some of you, the ship has left the dock, right? You're going to have to deal with this rent situation going forward until your finances change. And hopefully they change for the better sooner rather than later. I've been hearing is that, man, there's apartments everywhere and rent is cheap and things along those lines. But what you don't realize is it's a business. And although you might be in an area now where they're building a lot of multifamily units, you got to ask yourself why. Do you think they're building these things just to sit empty? And for a lot of you that listen to these folks on YouTube that speak to what it is that you want to believe, and you've been sitting around waiting on a housing crash for 10 plus years and waiting for rent to come down, it's just going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Now, some of you, there's still an opportunity for you to own your own home. You don't have to own a mansion. You have to own someplace that you can afford. And I said some of you, because a lot of you aren't going to be able to buy, and you're going to have to get your brain wrapped around $3,000 a month rent. You heard it here because it's called inflation, and it's been around forever. Things are on the way up, and I don't see them coming down anytime soon. So if you find yourself in these situations, buckle up, man. Buckle up. You have to find a way to make some additional money legally, and one that'll allow you not to be ashamed when you're around your family. But all of this crying and lamenting and fussing and waiting and expecting the government, they ain't coming to save you.
Rent is too damn high. The cost of living is too damn high. And I don't understand how the government thinks that that is sustainable for the American citizens. I am looking online at different places, houses, apartments, townhomes, everything to see what's out there. One, they want you to make 3 times the rent. Jobs are not paying 3 times the rent. I'm looking at different jobs that require at least a bachelor's degree, which I have, but they're at $52,000, $50,000 a year. What? And you expect me to pay $2,000 and above for rent, and you want me to make 3 times that? Like, make it make sense. How is people surviving out here? I really want to know, how are people surviving? And then they want to get on you about living, allowing people to come stay with you, and they paying a portion of the rent. So people can't stay there if they're not on the lease, and you can get in trouble for that and evicted for that. And on top of that, they want your the deposit, which is the equivalent of the rent, the first month rent, and then last month rent, and then they want your credit score to be extra high. Mine is 796. So I mean, I will qualify, but again, for the average American, that's not doable.
So when did the government say that they were going to make sure you lived how you wanted to live? I remember my first two apartments. I would literally be embarrassed to show you guys the way I was living. There was a hole in the floor in the restroom. It was rough, but it was mine, and I took care of it as best as I could, but it was what I could afford. It was the situation that I had put myself in because of bad decisions that I made. Where and when do we get all of these people with these senses of entitlement? That's all I'm hearing. I'm hearing that I'm supposed to be able to live a certain way, and the government, whoever that is, okay, they and the government, what are you doing to make sure you can afford a place that's decent? You see what I'm saying? There's no self-accountability. And for those of you going into 2026, take this advice, if you will. If not, just throw it out. But here's the deal. You got to quit being a victim, man. If you had to live in some of these other countries that do not have the benefits that we have here, to be able to even get on $1,000 telephone and complain on the internet, you would get a clue, right? And so here's the deal. You got to make some more money. You have to go and look through your budget and see where you're wasting money. You got to get off of social media complaining all the time and learn a skill that will attract currency, better someone's situation, solve a problem. Quit complaining, because we all have problems. Are you willing to learn something new, or are you going to keep complaining about what someone hasn't given you, and more importantly, what you haven't earned? And let me tell you why your credit score has to be so high. Let me tell you why Tom, Dick, and Harpo can't come live in the house if they're not on the lease, because you guys tear stuff up because someone was entitled. You're not entitled to anything. Let's change the mindset. The complainers are going to complain. Now, the question is, are you going to reposition yourself going forward to try to better your situation? I think when you do that, you'll find things work out for the best, whatever that is, and then you'll find more help along your journey. Let's continue.
How is the rent for 31 days the same as the rent for 28 days? Bro, where's my change? And then the lease renews in February, which means you just went up on my rent. So I'm paying you the most for a month that ain't even got enough days in it.
Child, please.
Did you think moving to Atlanta you were going to get a better bargain?
100% go pay you enough to live on your own.
That part. Forsyth, Cherokee, and Fayette counties go for over $2,000 a month. Fulton County, the heart of the metro, the asking price sits at $1,891 a month. But here's some perspective. Clayton County's asking price is $1,708. 10 years ago, that price was only $792.
You cannot do it on your own. You have to shack up or something, and I'm not built like that.
Did you hear it again? They. Who is they? Who is they? Them, they. Them people. Who are they? No, the deal is you're not earning enough to live on your own. And in my opinion, you want to do everything on your own. And that's another conversation that a lot of us are dealing with. The scripture says this: pride is before a great fall. A lot of us need to learn how to come together. But because of that entitlement spirit and I'm going to do it my way all the way, you may have burned some bridges where nobody wants to deal with you. Secondly, to all of my folks that like to move around, go to this state, go to this city, and go here and go there. 20 years is going to pass, okay? And you're going to turn around one day, right? Hopefully you still have hair on your head, but you're not going to be 20 anymore. 30s are going to be gone. And you're going to look up if the Lord tarries and say, snap, I've been doing it my way. You've been Frank Sinatra in it. You did it your way. And you're going to find yourself by yourself. Listen to the old man. Invest. 2 is better than 1. That's what that's how he put it together. I know you guys got all this new stuff out here, but from what I'm looking at, it ain't working. Try something new respectfully. It might change your situation. Now, not only am I tired of hearing about them and they and all these obscure entities, the next thing that I'm tired of hearing about is this, the government and what they should be doing to allow me to do nothing and live how I want to live. You guys tell me what you think about this next video.
It should be incredibly illegal for landlords to increase rent every year without actually improving anything. For one, there just simply is not really a good argument for landlords being able to permanently increase rents every year without making a single improvement to any of their buildings. Like, the only argument is like landlords going like, oh, well, what if my expenses go up? Or, oh, but I want to increase my profits every year. And it's like, be a better business owner. You're not entitled to increasing profits every year. Sometimes you're going to make the same level of profit that you did the previous year, and sometimes you might even make a little bit less. If you want more profit, you're not supposed to do that by just increasing your prices on your already existing items every year without changing anything. Like, if you're worried about increasing expenses and you're worried about increasing your profit, you're supposed to do that, one, by cutting your expenses. Like, if your expenses are too high, maybe try, I don't know, spending less money. And 2, by making your business better.
Why don't you just make more money and move? Why don't you improve your skills so that you can move into a place that meets your standards? You see, business is in business to make a profit. Not making an excuse for it. It is what it is. And so that entitlement spirit that's floating around out here nowadays, or it seems to be on these internet streets that a lot of people have, you see, you got it twisted, young man. You got it twisted. And so they can do that because you can't go anywhere and you're going to pay to stay. That's why they do that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm one that has a different mindset when it comes to business, but nobody owes you anything. And I think that's the message that I'm trying to convey throughout this video. The complaining is through the roof. What are you going to do legally to change your situation? Because the environment is ripe for problem solving. And if you can just take a little bit of that energy that you have looking for somebody to come take care of you and direct it towards bettering yourself and solving problems, man, life will be so much better for you and yours. Let's check out this last young man and see what it is that he has to say. Oh, by the way, if you guys think I'm wrong, as you well know, let me know in the comment section. Or if you have any advice for these folks thus far, put it in the comment section. Just be respectful.
I really just came on here to ask, like, as America, like, what the are we doing as a society? Because every year, it don't matter. Like, the economy could be, it could be horrible. And guess what? Every year, though, you rent an apartment, your month rent gonna go to up. If we even get a raise. And most of the time, that should be about 25 cents. Why the f is my apartment going up $50 to $100 and everything else is expensive? Ain't changed. Y'all ain't changed the dishwasher. You ain't changed the cabinets. You ain't give me a new fridge. Nothing. Like, at this point, why isn't there, like, long-term, like, leasings for apartments or something? Because this changing every year and my paying increasing is crazy.
Because it's a business, young man. What are we doing as a society to deal with rent? And not much really, because it's a business. If you're a widower, if you're under the age of accountability and you can't take care of yourself because of something that someone else has done, if you're truly disabled, We got to look out for those type of folks. But what's wrong with you, man? You look healthy, able-bodied, right? And so I think, you used a lot of 4-letter words. I had to bleep out about 15 F-bombs just to play your clip. But there's another 4-letter word that a lot of people are allergic to. W-O-R-K, work. Work, 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 work. Nobody wants to work. Everybody just wants to get, right? And so that's what the problem is, in my opinion, respectfully, with society. And so that coupled with a heavy dose of entitlement and complaining, and you got what we have here. Now, I'm optimistic in this. Pareto's law, right? The 80-20. In the scripture, we talk about a remnant. It ain't everybody. It's just, this is what keeps people watching. Because, see, YouTube is a business. See, TikTok, Facebook, all of these social media platforms are a business. They sell ads. And to get you to watch, we got to talk about foolishness like this. We can't really break it down and get to what everybody's crying and saying, well, I didn't have financial literacy and I didn't know this and I didn't know that, but you won't pay your bills back. Your character is horrible. Not necessarily saying you, but the masses. And I'm not talking from a bully pulpit. I'm talking from a seat that I look at credit every day. And everybody's got an excuse for why they did not keep their word. And 8 times out of 10, it's not due to something catastrophic happening or a legitimate reason. It's just because people are thieves. You have to repent. You got to change from your wicked ways, and you got to change your mindset. See, that's why I do these videos, to have a different voice out here to encourage you guys, but also hold you accountable, right? And tell you could do better. See, you at the prime of your life, bruh. You're strong, you're healthy, and they got all this opportunity out here. You ought to be getting it hand over fist, legally, the righteous way, the right way. You feel me? Be encouraged, man. Change your mindset and get up, get out, and get something, because the getting is good. Going into this new year, you might be saying, you know what, man, I want to get on the property ladder. I don't want to be beholden to rent that's going up continually, because it's a business. And I understand that. And they're in it to make a profit. I'm still gainfully employed. I was just listening to the wrong people. And you know what? I'm ready to get onto the property ladder. I just want to do so the right way. Contact information is in the description below. My time is up, guys, but I thank you for yours. As I always say, let's be good to one another. Let us let grace abound. Watch these next 2 videos. It'll help you in your education on your way to deciding if you want to be a homeowner. And until the next time, indeed, y'all stay blessed.